Welcome, Climate Viewers. Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News at ClimateViewer.com. Back one more again. Talk about China pumping that bass, making that rain. We get a lot of conversations about using directed energy weapons, frequency to make rainfall. Well, it's in the news. This is something that I didn't ever expect to actually see, but it's definitely interesting to me. So I know it's interesting to all the climate viewers that are tuned in. Thank you all. I got the chat room just overflowing tonight. Hello, all you beautiful people. How are y'all doing tonight? Let's see if the chat box is working. No, it's not. It's just, it never behaves anymore. Bad chat box. We're going to be switching to Restream in the near future. That way I can stream to all the things that I used to stream to. We're going to be back on DLive, Twitch. I want to get on Foxhole Pilled. I took some of your advice. Many of you were saying, hey, Jim, could you get some other alternatives out there, for supporting you? So I did that. So if you're watching this on BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, or any of the other channels where my videos get mirrored currently, please come over to YouTube, hold your nose, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, leave me a comment. Do I suck? Am I killing it? Am I just not here enough for you? Do I need to hold you, make up for it? If so, come over to connect.climateviewer.com and hit me up with an email. You can call me. My phone number's on there. But more importantly, you could support me on Patreon or PayPal. Oh, wait. That's right. People say they hate that stuff. So one of the most common suggestions was, hey, Jim, why don't you get on like Gibson Go or some of the alternatives? So I am setting up a Subscribe Star. I haven't got that one done yet, but I did set up a Gibson Go. You can find that at givesendgo.com/climateviewer, givesendgo/climateviewer. And I also set up a buymeacoffee.com/climateviewer. Links are in the details. So if you hate Patreon, if you hate PayPal, and you do want to support my work, I'm going to show you what I've been doing all this time that I haven't been making videos, because I've been working my tail off, and you guys have no idea how freaking epic what's coming is. And once this is completed, boy, expect it to rain videos up in here. And for that, I'm going to need your participation. So what I would really, I see Semper Fry. 2 years now to approve your page? Are you serious? Subscribe Star, get it together. Radical Ralph Rousseau, my main man with the ham. He's always sending me updates on all things electromagnetic frequency from the digital realm of scanning them sound, them electromagnetic frequencies. Everybody shout out to Radical Ralph Rousseau. And Mr. Stonely, my brother from another mother up in Canada, going to talk about Canada as well. But I want to just before we get into this sound wave thing, I want to give you guys a sneak preview of the big, the bold, the beautiful, the best. It's the best ever created. If you didn't know why I wasn't making videos, get over it. Okay. I'm busy. I'm a very busy man. I work all the time with these huge hands. Hugest hands you've ever seen, constantly programming. That's what I do. Welcome to the new ClimateViewer.com. So ClimateViewer News is going to be, the new ClimateViewer.com will have all three of my websites in one. I've been working tirelessly on this. Oh, look at this beautiful thumb scroll. Ooh, slides. Everything has been broken down into 4 main categories now to simplify everything. So we have weather modification, chemical and electric weather control, space weather modification, HARP and the sky heaters, sounding rockets, those sort of things. The shady truth about artificial clouds and plane farts and them chemtrails. Oh my. And then geoengineering, climate engineering, and climate intervention. So these 4 main pages, I'm setting them up to, if you don't know anything about this topic whatsoever, I want to be able to make it simpler for people to jump into all the 15 years of research that I have and be able to understand it very quickly, and then work your way down to where you're in the deep end of the pool and you're understanding all of the terminology, all of that. I want to give it all to you. I want to give you all the things, baby. I'm going to give it to you hard and straight, or soft and gentle. I mean, you know, whatever you like. But regardless, this beautiful website I'm working on is going to have right now, if you click this, on the front page, it's got my YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute. More to come on that. Obviously, I'm going to include all of the things, you know, my social medias. But if you hit play on this right now, hard and straight, oh, wow, it's got me live right now, this very moment. In fact, if you could literally click here and all of my videos, it'll just automatically play them right from the homepage, right at the very top. So the latest video, when I go live, you could just check here. It'll be right there on the front page. The Weather Control News Vault from weathermodificationhistory.com. It's now here. It's now live. It's looking beautiful. It's gorgeous, very sexy. You know how it works. It shows the newspapers. It lets you scroll through the history of weather control. You know what I'm saying? All at one spot. Bam. He did it. Brought to you by Dominic Marama. Beautiful, beautiful Dominic Marama from Canada. Still looking for somebody to marry Dominic, because we need to get him down to America. We need to get him out of Canuckistan. No offense to the Canadian brothers and sisters that I love very much. They got maple syrup for blood, man. But regardless, yeah, we got to get him down here. And you know, all of my PowerPoint presentations, beautiful curvy lines instead of straight lines on a website. Look, it's so damn slick. I'm just saying, you know, if I'm tooting my own horn right now, but still a work in progress. As you can see, this is what the format is going to look like for a page. So weather control, chemical and electric weather control. Since weather modification is what we're talking about today, I just want to give you a quick preview of what this will look like. So you got a sidebar, obviously, with most popular and recent posts on the timeline, things like that. And of course, the timeline is up here as well. So if you go to that, yes, the weather modification history timeline is already in here, and you can sort through it and do all the things that you can on weather modification history. That's already integrated. Already been there, done that. Don't ask about it again, okay? I've already done that part. But what I want you to see is what one of these frequently asked question pages it looks like, and then we're going to move on to the actual bass thumping Chinese and how they're making rain. So the idea here is pretty simple. I want to be able to have somebody come in, quick explanation. What is this about? What's going on? And then the PowerPoint presentations that I've done. The beautiful thing about this is I've got the very sciencey original PowerPoint presentation video and the dummies version on each page. So you can choose. Do you want the nerdy Jim, or do you want redneck Jim explaining to you the same exact topic? Your choice, nerd, redneck, or you could just grab the PowerPoint presentation yourself by viewing it like this. Just click that sucker, and then it'll load it up. It'll load it up full screen, and you can actually go through the PowerPoint presentation yourself. That one's on Google Docs. You can grab the PDF version of it, so you can email it to your friends. Pretty darn slick. Pretty darn slick, if I do say so myself. And then finally, the original PowerPoint file. If you don't want to get it from Google, you can download it locally from the ClimateViewer website. And then we're going to get into technology. Yeah, I'm redneck all day too, Fallout Shelter. I mean, just I prefer to keep it simple, stupid. And we're going to speak a little redneck. I'm going to come back at you one more again and talk about this here technology. Cloud seeding. If all of these, I wanted to simplify it. So as you can see, that's the whole damn page. That's the whole damn page. It's very simple, but it's not, because when you get to technology, you click on that and it expands out, tells you all about the history of it, how it was invented, terms like glaciogenic. Ooh, that sounds a little complicated. How's it used? Make it rain, make less rain, hail suppression, snowpack augmentation, hurricane modification. Examples: cloud ionization. Boom. What does it do? Why are they doing it? How does it work? It's like Tesla stuff, bruh. Steering atmospheric rivers, weather warfare, all of that fun stuff. So as you can see, as you come down the page, then you'll get the terminology, so you can learn all the big complicated words that Jimbo be using up here on this here YouTubes or BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, wherever you're watching it at. Cloud condensation nuclei, ice nucleating particles. What is an aerosol? What do you mean by ionization? You got to understand these terms in order to be able to, really make a difference, to be able to explain this to your local government officials. So come in here and you can actually read the definitions of these terms. And that way, whenever you're watching these videos or trying to explain it to your family members or friends, it's all very simple. Just click those and bam, they load out. And then official government weather modification reports, U.S. government weather modification project reports, boom, links to all of them, including, the actual forms that you fill out from the government to do weather modification. Initial report on weather modification. Yes, this is the actual form you fill out and you can type right in it. Pretty darn cool. So we were down here. So that's the government weather modification reports, and then a link to the central library. I have a reference system on this sucker, so when you click it, it'll take you down here. It'll highlight it. You can grab that sucker like that. You can right click it, go to next page, and you can see the NOAA Central Library for all weather modification projects that are reported, like Alta Ski Resort, Snowbird. And then you can click on the report itself and go and read that form that I just showed you, filled out, increased snowpack for ski areas, Alta ski lifts, performed by North American weather consultants. That's who made the weather. You can't get much simpler than this. So I wanted to keep it very simple. If you click the 2, it's going to send you right back up to where you were, and you can move on down. United Nations World Meteorological Organization reported weather modification activities, all of the national registers on that, and AMS weather modification conferences. And most of you may know this. I attended the 21st conference on planned and inadvertent weather modification. And now that I'm alive and well and, doing much better, gaining my weight back and feeling so damn spiffy, I plan on being at the 24th conference on planned and inadvertent weather modification and interviewing people again. But you can see all those video interviews here. That is not the way that was supposed to go. It is a work in progress. I will have to fix it. Do not panic, everybody. Everything is okay. This is not live. This is running on my computer. Anyway, so that's the way the pages are going to work. Very compact, everything stuffed into one small package where you can jump in. And obviously there will also be a weather modification map at the bottom of that. When you go to the HARP page, there will be HARP related map, things like that. When you go to the artificial cloud / plane fart / chemtrails page, there will be links to maps where you can look at satellite imagery and track contrail, cirrus, and freaking ship tracks and all of that stuff from space. Space is real. Don't want to get into it with a flat earther today. I love you too, even though you got your smooth brain. I can't help myself. Can't help myself. I keep telling you, Jeb, stop picking on the flat earthers, but you know, it's too much fun. So to recap, I've been working my ass off on combining weathermodificationhistory.com, climateviewer.org, which is the maps, and they're all going to be on climateviewer.com as soon as I can get this freaking perfect. And you guys know that I'm a perfectionist, so please bear with me. That's why it's so important for you guys to support my work. And now I've got some alternatives out there. Hit me up on Gibson Go/ClimateViewer, buy me a coffee /ClimateViewer, or go over to connect.climateviewer.com until the new website's released. And you can find other links, as well as links in the details to this ways to support my work, because I'm going to be working constantly. So could we shake rain out of the sky? Aiming powerful low frequency sound waves at clouds could help to increase rainfall and alleviate droughts, scientists say. The takeaway: researchers use low-frequency sound waves to excite water vapor particles. The sound causes the particles to vibrate and come together as larger droplets. This is condensation, for those who don't know that. This then allows the larger droplets to fall as rain and increase rainfall levels. The team say a test in 2020 saw rainfall increase by as much as 17%. Wait a minute. Why is this going back to 2020? This article's from 2021. How'd this slip through the cracks? I was busy covering all this Chinese thing. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to explain it all. So basically, researchers from Tsinghua University in Beijing fired sound at clouds using frequencies of about 50 hertz, barely perceptible to human ears at 160 decibels. Can I make this big enough? Yes. 50 hertz, barely perceptible to human ears. Guys, just a clarification. I'm an audiophile. It's kind of like a pedo for music, okay? I love music. I love audio. I have been building car stereos when I was in high school. I went to sound pressure level contests. I love bass, all right? I love rap music. I love all music, and I'm going to tell you this: from about 20 hertz to about 250 hertz is bass. Because we're not talking about electromagnetic frequency today. We're talking about sound waves, which makes this graphic that they have all the more stupid. Because they're like, speakers are used to aim 50 to 160 hertz sound waves at a cloud playing at 160 decibels. That ain't a speaker, bro. That's a satellite dish. So whoever your infographic guy is, whoever came up with this infographic, you're stupid. All right. You're just stupid. But my point being, this is ridiculous. Okay. 50 to 160 hertz, saying that it's barely perceptible, is disingenuous at best. Whenever I have a subwoofer set up, like, on my home stereo, in a car stereo, we use something called a crossover. And a crossover, basically, it filters out all of the mid-range and treble. Mid-range and treble are things like, human voices, the instrument, the guitar, up to the high frequency of the highest note you could hear out of a violin, 20 to 20,000 hertz. Everything below 250 hertz gets into what's called mid bass or bass. Drop the bass, that sort of thing. When I said a crossover, Normally, the crossover is going to be set at around 120 hertz. And no, we're not talking about crossover like switching your voice and like that new woke term crossover. We're talking about audio crossovers. Chat, get it together. This isn't, quite frankly, you bunch of freaking perverts. Shout out to Quite Frankly. Love the guy. I get kind of dirty over there. But regardless, Professor Wang, there we go. These subwoofers are basically operating at 160 decibels. I'm going to give you some context here. So 120 decibels is a shotgun blast at about 5 feet. Okay? So barely perceptible? I think not. 130 decibels is the space shuttle taking off. 160 decibels was the pain generator I had inside my vehicle to keep it from getting stolen. They were piezoelectric tweeters. 160 decibels is so loud that it can cause physical pain. I had a directed energy weapon, piezoelectric tweeter, pain generator inside my vehicle. In fact, I had two because overkill is never a bad thing. And they were 160 decibels. And I'm going to tell you, they also operated around like 15 to 20,000 hertz. So it was unbearable. It felt like needles on your skin. 160 decibels, whether it's audible or not, would be physically, it would cause physical reactions. You would be able to feel it even if you couldn't hear it. But I can tell you this reliably. When they say it's barely perceptible to human ears, that's a joke. Yeah, whenever we're hearing drop that bass, the bass frequencies tend to be around 50 hertz. That's your common, low frequency bass. And it gets down to 20, and below 20, that's called infrasound. And most people cannot hear infrasound. That's the idea. Humans can hear from 20 to 20,000 hertz. So 50 hertz is definitely in the range of being able to hear it. I personally could hear down to about 18 hertz. I had Serwin Vega strokers and about 1,000 watts going to them in a Chevrolet Blazer. It would practically destroy the vehicle. And my Blazer would top out around 136 decibels. It could be heard from 5 miles away. Okay? So just to give you some kind of idea here. And I'm not gonna bore you with all the details about this, but basically they used a huge sound wave, cannon to which is about, they said the team discovered that there were significantly more water droplets in the cloud after they fired their device, which is about as loud as a running jet engine. That's an exaggeration. Okay. 160 decibels is extremely loud. I should have brought up a decibel chart just to give you guys an idea. Maybe we'll do that a little later. But regardless, so the Chinese, you're probably asking yourself, why are they, bumping bass on top of the Tibetan Plateau, also known in China as Qinghua? Low frequency sound waves aimed at the cloud could help to increase rainfall and alleviate drought in the otherwise dry areas, according to a team of Chinese scientists. But the thing is, they're not telling all the story here. Obviously, they never do. But let's just, and they make a good argument here, and I make the same argument. At least with cloud ionization and with this sound wave technology, which is very similar, my first thought was, this is very similar to, people keep talking about brown note. It's hilarious. You're not going to get me sidetracked today, chat. We got to keep this short. The similarity between this sound wave technology and cloud ionization is that they are not chemical, okay? That they're not adding chemicals to the sky to make it rain, which I much prefer. If you're going to go screwing with the sky, at least don't go dumping toxic chemicals. That just, it makes sense. It makes more sense. But regardless, they say that it requires no airborne vehicles such as aircraft or rockets to actually get chemicals up there, in addition to the fact that they allegedly can make it rain. What they're not telling you is that they're still using cloud seeding in addition to this. So we'll get to that. All right. So over here, I'm going to hop back over to the screen. Let's go to this thing. And we can see here, this is from Springer Link, the actual scientist. And I want to give a shout out before I go any further, because I almost forgot to. Big shout out to my homeboy Max Bliss for sending me these 3 links. Max Bliss is a good friend, has been a good friend of her a very long time. He went to the EPA hearing with me in 2015 up in Washington, D.C. We've been good friends, ever since and before. Had his YouTube channel deleted. Won't get into that. But he sent me these a couple days ago, and I was like, bookmarked, gonna make a video, period. So thank you so much to Max Bliss. You guys, send me links. Jim@climateviewer.com. If you see something in the news, if it's hot and breaking, my previous ways of gathering information across the internet are breaking because of the censorship. And I'm getting a lot of garbage in my inbox, and I do rely on climate viewers like you to send me, the updated link. So, some guys, send it in DMs on Twitter, but I prefer, if it's possible, you see something cool and it's weather related, send it to me at Jim@climateviewer.com. I read it every day, multiple times a day. And, your link may be in the next video. But thank you, Max Bliss, for sending these to me. Back to the story. So, cloud and precipitation interference by strong low frequency sound wave, and this is from the scientists who did the testing. And of course, you hear the exact same stuff that's parroted in the Daily Mail. There's no chemical pollution dependence on airborne vehicles. It can be remotely controlled at low cost. And we made it rain with bass. Boom. Key responses of acoustic atmospheric interference. Acoustic sound waves making it rain. Interestingly enough, he included this one, which I thought was pretty interesting. At the AGU fall meeting in 2020, they actually, the scientists were going to talk about what they were doing on the Tibetan Plateau, September to October 2019 and May to July in 2020. But the paper was withdrawn, as you can see here. Withdrawn. Maybe the Chinese government were like, why are you going to the American Geophysical Union and trying to brag about field experiments using low frequency and high power acoustic wave to interfere precipitation for regulating atmospheric water resources? They were going to, give a scientific presentation on the paper that was already published at the AGU, and that paper was withdrawn. Same guys, University of Hong Kong, as you can see, Ji Chen, first author, and then you look over here, Jiwa Wei, Jun Chi. It's the same people. But they pulled it out, and they didn't. They never gave their little presentation, which sucks because it would have been cool. Because then we would have got a nice video to watch them talk about it. Maybe even some video of them bumping that bass on the Tibetan Plateau and a bunch of Tibetan monks going, "Shut the hell up! Turn the damn bass down. We're trying to meditate here." Muff. Anyway, but this brings me back to a paper I wrote in 2019. China's mind-blowing weather modification, geoengineering, and extremely low-frequency transmitter projects. And that's when I, kind of wanted to cover it all. Number one, China's covering Tibet in thousands of cloud seeding generators. Let's go ahead and make that full screen. Thousands of cloud seeding generators. That this new research exposes what might be the largest geoengineering project to date, a weather modification project in the Himalayas, which is also a part of an alarming pattern of dispossession of indigenous inhabitants, Tibetan monks. While a weather modification project of this scale is alarming enough, the infrastructure could be could be easily transferred over to stratospheric aerosol injection. So I asked Dr. James Roger Fleming about this, and I said, hey man, when you got a cloud seeding project this big, would this classify? How big? This big. All right, that damn big. Look at that. That red area. Hundreds of thousands of ground-based cloud seeding generators. Okay? This is what the Chinese are doing. Chinese cloud seeding generators in Tibet. And that is the area that they're doing it in. That is a huge freaking area. This is also where they were bumping that bass. So they want to sprinkle chemicals into the sky like so. This is actually one of the Chinese cloud seeding generators. Here's an American one looking much more cool and like it is a moon rover of some sort. Here's the redneck version over here with an old man basically just lighting a propane tank with some acetylene or acetone and then a silver iodide box above it. And the idea is that basically, we'll open this image in a new tab, in fact, so we can blow it up. You got your cloud seeding generators here. You got winds that come up the mountain. They put the chemicals into the sky. Up comes the wind. In goes the silver iodide. It goes into the clouds. Rains on Tibetan Plateau. That is what's called orographic cloud seeding. It is done with ground-based cloud seeding generators like the one you're seeing here. Okay? Now, China's talking about putting hundreds of thousands of these all across Tibet and then diverting that rainfall to different parts of China. And they're actually stealing that rainfall from India, Pakistan, from there are so many river tributaries, as you can see here. The Indus River running into Pakistan, the Ganges River, the Brahmaputra River, the Mekong River, which has the Mekong Delta, all of Vietnam and all of that, the Yangtze River, the Yellow River. They want to make as much of this rain go to the Yellow River and feed northwestern China as possible. So not only are they putting cloud seeding generators, Adapt 2030 in the house, David Devine, everybody subscribe to that man right there. If you want to know about global cooling, that's your guy. And yes, we definitely need to get together and do another video. It's been far too long, brother, man. But everybody, Adapt 2030 on YouTube. Check him out. Great channel. Guy knows his stuff. Oilseedcrops.com, I believe, still. Great stuff. So the Chinese, ozone depletion and how do metals affect that? I know all about that, brother, man. We could definitely do that. We can take a deep dive onto that. Look up the Indian Space Organization finds metal particulates from aircraft emissions at 18,000 kilometers, 10,000 per square centimeter. That's where it's coming from. So yeah, plane farts, jet exhaust ending up in the ozone layer, 10,000 parts per square centimeter. And the only source the Indian Space Organization they could derive was jet aircraft pollution. But yes, everybody subscribe to Adapt 2030. great gentleman over there. Tons of information. When people ask me about global cooling, I point them towards David Devine, Adapt 2030. So the Chinese, hundreds of thousands of cloud seeding generators, pumping that base, and they want to steal all of the rain from all of these different tributaries coming off. And it's already, in one case in particular, you cannot make this up. And on the Brahmaputra, where the rain is coming in, from China into India, there was actually a directed energy weapon showdown between Indian, it's not feathers, Indian military and Chinese military, where the Chinese fired directed energy weapons at the Indian troops and burnt their clothes off, burnt them to a crisp. I have an entire article on directed energy weapons about this very topic, and another one about water wars. All of these come together in this scenario. China is much like our Western United States, always strapped for water. That's why the takeover of the Tibetan Plateau is so important. That's why China is making this move. This is an act of water warfare. And China and Russia working together on ionospheric heating experiments. Lots on that. And, me talking to Chris Fallon, director of HAARP, previous director of HAARP, the Sura ionospheric heating facility in China's satellite. China's building their own ionospheric heater, as you can see here. And where is it? Let's go down here. That's my ionospheric heater map. China's Sky River will divert atmospheric rivers using undisclosed technology. So, like I was saying, they not only want to be able to, they not only want to be able to pump that base, cover the entire Tibetan Plateau in, let's go down here real quick. I'm going to make this 3D for y'all's. They want to be able to make this entire area covered in cloud seeding generators. And then they want to be able to move that up here, up the Yellow River, and the atmospheric rivers generated typically along the rain belt of the equator. They want to move it all up here. So China is in a massive move. This started around 2017, 2018. I can only imagine where it is right now. I'll have to do a deeper dive into that in the future. But that's why I have been promoting for quite some time the idea of the Environmental Modification Accountability Act. These governments, these individuals, these corporations have been able to get away with modifying the weather on a monumental scale, doing all kinds of experiments without any accountability whatsoever. And it's incumbent on all of us to educate our local representatives, our federal representatives, and hopefully amend the weather warfare ban of 1978 to bring transparency, verification, and accountability in the world of weather modification, geoengineering, and weather warfare. Just recently, I was at, I did 2 Zoom calls with Geoengineering Free Canada. And, these people were very much interested in, what can we do in Canada to change the local laws. And I will highly suggest you guys go over there and check that out. I'll even drop a link in chat real quick. Let me grab this real quick for you. And so this is me. It could have basketball size hail. Regardless, there's only a finite amount of water in the sky at any given time, and a certain amount of cloud seeds for the water to attach to. They have to be in perfect harmony for rainfall to occur. If you get too many cloud seeds, you shut off rainfall. But what happens? When they're doing ground-based cloud seeding generators all along the Rocky Mountains, they operate October through March of every year.
And I was taking questions from the auditorium.
In my town and destroyed my life and property. I'm taking you to court. That's when we'll see accountability. That's what I'm hoping for in my lifetime.
And it was actually kind of funny when I phoned Jim the first time and introduced myself as Geoengineering Free Canada. Then he was like, "Yay, Canada is finally doing something!"
Yeah. Get on the bus. It's awesome to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jim. That was again, wow, just absolutely fantastic, phenomenal information. Thank you so much for coming on, and I would like to just continue on with a few little things about geoengineering, what we are doing.
So I'd like you guys to go over there. I was going to mirror the two talks, but this was from Vernon on February 4th, 2023, and there's a couple others on here. My friend Nikki Florio also spoke there. So you got me at the first one here. This was at Kelowna, British Columbia. And you can check those talks out as well. But Geoengineering Free Canada, action group up in Canada. They only have 18 subscribers right now, just made their YouTube channel. I hope that you guys will go over there and subscribe to them as well. If you're up in Canada, get involved. Go to geoengineeringfreecanada.com. Let me see if I can bring that up as well. It's these last minute things that you do. Let me see real quick. Geoengineer. No, that's not. Free Canada. You know what? Here, let me get this off of here, and I'm gonna grab it from my email because I don't want to I don't want to give away personal information while I'm on my inbox. But let's just see real quick. It's right here, and here it is. This is their website, and they have a Geoengineering Free Canada. So yeah, I did 2 events with them. I actually was supposed to do 3, and I can't lie to you. I messed up, and we did the first one at 5 p.m. my time, and the second one was supposed to be at 2 p.m. But in my calendar on my phone, I'd put it for 5 p.m. So I got a good nap in, and then an entire auditorium full of people who were waiting on me. I never showed up. Admonish me. I deserve it. I deserve it. Come on. I deserve it. Rubber chickens, cat of nine tails, whatever you decide is appropriate. But in February 2nd, I made that up, and we did a second one. But you can see all of that over here. Go to geoengineeringfreecanada.com. If you're up in Canada, get involved. I like what they're doing, and I like to support other activists that are in the space, and they're trying their best to make a difference. And okay, I'm trying to juggle too many things at once. Yeah, I know. I blew it. I freaking blew it. Why my chat no longer work? I mean, chat used to be so good. Used to work so well. Boggs is linked on there. Oh, look. It's showing up as working, but it's not working. I mean, this makes no sense. I mean, I literally just opened it up, and I'm seeing chat showing up. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I don't know what it's doing. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't want to work. This is why I'm getting very annoyed with Streamlabs, because it should be working at this point for certain. But the chat box, it don't want to play with me no more. It makes me very sad. Bad chat box. Why works? Anyway, trying to get you guys, on the screen, just trying to get some audience participation. But it wants to be stupid, so we'll just leave it at that. All right. So yeah, still working on getting the 3 websites together. Gibson Go, Buy Me a Coffee, added those things. Got to get with David Devine. I hope you still got my number, bro. If not, I'll put it in chat. Give me a call, 803-450-4305. This is for Adapt 2030, not you facts, okay? But no, my number is on my website, so, and it's jim@climateviewer.com, and we'll definitely get together and talk about that, because it's a topic that most people know very little about. But yeah, China pumping that base while putting hundreds of thousands of cloud seeding generators all over Tibet. Do they care about people who live in Tibet? No. Do they care about anybody who lives downstream of the Himalayas? No. They want to siphon all the water they can out of that mountain range and keep it all for themselves, which is very Chinese of them. That being said, thank you guys for putting up with my infrequent video participation. If you're wondering why it's taking me so long to combine 3 websites into one, I'll just give you an idea that it took a year and a half to redo weathermodificationhistory.com from scratch. And what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to do it in a quarter of the time and still not screw it all up. But that being said, once it's completed, we'll be able to get back to brand new maps, like on the fly maps, like whenever the Palestine train wreck happened, mapping where it happened, what the rainfall patterns, what the wind patterns are like, making a map on all that and having it done in a day, so that by the end of the day, already got the video out. Being able to get on things like I used to is going to be such a relief. I need to be able to make new content. I love making maps. I'm going to, add a lot to the timeline. I got a list of things to add to it to get it up to, I think it ends at 2019 right now. And so I've got 4 years worth of stuff that I'm going to add into the timeline. Like Mexico banning geoengineering, things like that. So there's a lot coming up. I hope that you guys will continue to support my work. I'm always working behind the scenes. Every spare minute I got, I'm throwing at this thing. And whenever something important comes up or something I just really can't help myself to talk about, like Chinese people bumping bass, making sound waves, it reminds me of the American Indians, my heritage. I'm Pawnee, Choctaw on my mother's side. Beating that drum, that rhythmic beating of that bass drum. The Indians, Native Americans, whatever you want to call them, my ancestors, were kicking dirt, which is full of aluminum, which is a great cloud condensation nuclei. They were kicking dirt, and they were beating a bass drum, and they believed it made it rain. And I believe it made it rain too. And apparently the Chinese agreed to, because now they're bumping that bass while making artificial sandstorms of their own on the Tibetan Plateau.
Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. And that's what this channel is about. Knowing the history, knowing what's going on today, and keeping you up to date with all of the latest stuff. Please continue to support my work. You can do that by going to connect.climateviewer.com or my new, I haven't put links up yet, gibsongo.com/climateviewer or buymeacoffee.com/climateviewer. All that support is greatly appreciated. Oh, yeah, and shout out to my boy Semper Fry Hot Sauce, who was in chat, semperfryllc.com. Use code PLAINFARTS, and you can get 5% off, plus a bonus 2-ounce hot sauce. This shit is fire. Really, really crazy good hot sauces. Saw him in chat. Got to give him a shout out. And that being said, I will be trying to do a live call-in show in the near future. I will announce it way in advance so you guys can get in on that. Get your questions ready or just call me to shoot the shit, because I much prefer having conversations than monologuing for an hour. So let's just put it that way. Yeah, my DNA is constantly fighting itself. On one side, I've got we thought we were Apache for the longest time till my mom just up and decided she was going to be a Mormon. And then she found out the actual, family tree and got all the actual records, and where her mother is Pawnee, her father is Choctaw, and we're related to Tecumseh. And then on my dad's side, we're Lee, so we're obviously related to Robert E. Lee and Richard Henry Lee, who signed the Declaration of Independence. So somewhere along the line, my dad's people probably killed some of my mom's people, and that's all in my DNA. But I'm filled with a revolutionary DNA, bunch of fighters. No wonder why I managed to survive being shot 3 times, stabbed 7 times, and going through Graves' disease for 10 years. And doing that all the while on YouTube. If you want to see some video of Skeletor, go back a couple of years on my YouTube channel and just look at the difference. You'll see what I'm talking about. But bruh, I mean, I look at it and I cringe. I'm like, damn, that was me. It's bad. It's bad, bro. With that being said, guys, I love you very much. I enjoy having these conversations. I enjoy the chat more than anything. I'm fascinated by chat, and I want to actually have real conversations with you. So next time we'll actually do that thing. Oh, look, the chat works there. Why does the chat work there, but not work here? The chat works. The chat is working. Isn't that some shit? I mean, just you fickle. Anyway, I mean, it seems to be paused in place now. So when I go to the call-in thing, is it updating? No, it's still stuck. It's still stuck. But it did work for a second. You guys could see that it did work for a second. Technology nowadays. I'm going to switch over to Restream, and then I'll be able to bring in the chat from all of the things. And that'll make it a lot better because I'm using Streamlabs OBS, and their YouTube chat box update thing sucks, apparently. So there's that. That being said, with information comes power, and with power comes great responsibilities. Please use the information provided on ClimateViewer.com and all my other websites to attack ideas, not people. See you guys on the next one, and look forward to a brand new ClimateViewer.com where you don't have to go to 3 separate websites when you're sharing it with friends, all in one spot, easy to understand, educate others. And I promised flyers. So flyers. Love you, mean it. Video resonates with you, leave me a comment because I love hearing from y'all. First time here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. Yeah! Remember, It would be impossible for me to do this without your support, so please join my Patreon or buy me a coffee on PayPal. And always, attack ideas, not people.